Byron covered that in his last QTT session, or maybe he did, maybe he did. I don't know. Well,
Mm.
anyway, we'll just say um, he hasn't. Okay. He's telling me he
Mhm.
hasn't. All right. We have to think for a minute, see if Byron wants to go public with his knowledge. He's decided he'll go public with it. He had a client of his come here from Austin, and he had a lot of deja vus and couldn't figure out why. And turned out he had worked with this person in different lifetimes with each other. And this person was an Arcturian and a Pleiadian. Um,
Mhm.
he didn't really come from Earth. He doesn't. He's not caught up in the Earth systems, as we say. Um, and through this person, it gave Byron, the human, great insight as to the capabilities of the Pleiadians. Because as my higher self, have been very alone for so long and haven't been really connected too well with the folks here, the boots on the ground, as we say. Because I, the higher self, works with higher energies, and we
Yeah.
were always having a hard time getting that. For those of you who don't know, I'm 1 of 15, and my duty station's on the outskirts of this universe. And a portal
Mhm.
opens up from outside this. Think of all the universe as a bunch of bubbles, and I'm on the outside. Well, I'm on the inside, but I have a gate that opens up to true source God creator energy, and it pulls an energy, and it goes to my duty station. I rearrange it, I throw it down the wormhole to this sector. I've been trying to. The sector broke down, and I've been working on it for a long time. And the energy, I've gotten it here a few times, and it does well, and then it seems to last for a few thousand years. Then the adversary, the enemy, whatever frequency of us makes changes, and then it becomes necessary for me to come back down here. This is a very interesting place. For some odd reason, I was not able to fix it from the outside. They're using too much technology, and um, this is just a very bizarre system because everything's supposed to be pure source God energy flowing, and it has supposed to have a different construct, different makeup. The
Mhm.
technology, I guess, really bad analogy, but the closest I can come up with is it scrambles the true energy and makes it difficult for people to receive it. And even if they do receive it, they're not awake. They're so dumbed down and not aware. Whoops! I had a feeling that would happen. That's okay. I knew that would happen. That good.
Mm.
So yeah. So basically, Byron's really good at helping me. We work together, and once he became aware that these Pleiadians don't use tinker ships, that they use orbs and they're beyond the 10th dimension. He then started working with them consciously. Byron does a lot of missions, and I do missions. We work together, and he began communicating with the Palladians and the Arcturians, and at night, even in the waking state, he can do this. Um, he can be a human and be in the higher realms at the same time. He has he's achieved what you call duality. So it's interesting. But so knowing how they are, he started communicating with them, and then he started teaching them about energy, and they were teaching him about energy, their ideas of bringing in true source character energy. And so they worked together and they came up with a plan. And then I opened up the gate and pulled in pure source God energy. I rearranged it in my duty station and threw it down to them, to all the ships and orbs. And they received it and they held on to it for a while, like a gas tank. And at
Mhm.
the right time, we began to start trickling the energy down. So we began trickling the energy. Now it's a little bit more than a trickle. It's a little more pour, not quite a pour, but it's a stream of energy that's coming down right now. We're just slowly getting the energy in here and shifting the energies around. And then pretty soon here, um, we don't like time frames. I know a lot of people are using time frames, but at the right time, we're going to pour out massive energy from all these orb ships into the earth. so the energy will be calibrated correctly, so human beings will be able to receive the energy and actually wake up, and it'll be undeniable. And that's only one aspect of the event. There's other folks that have their the way they work with energy, and they're doing it as well. And there's many groups that are working in concert together. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we're just getting everything primed up, so things are pretty primed up. And then, you know, as you say, this event is going to occur, but that's not the real event. It's just a precursor, so people can wake up and decide what they want to do. And then we're going to have these waves, as I say. It can happen in 3 waves if the consciousness of the planet's correct enough, but it's looking more like 5 waves. So as we have each wave of people leave this place, um, I will have energy coming directly from Chief Source God Clear Energy to my duty station, throw it down the wormhole, and I will just blast this place with pure energy. It'll be a direct shot. I won't be using the Palladians or the Arcanians at that time. However, once the energy gets blasted in and folks phase shift out of here, I've explained this before, but I'll explain it again. It's kind of like you're in the room, and then everything just begins to fade away, and then the new Earth, the new reality becomes starts to fade in, and then eventually the old Earth just fades away, and then you see nothing but the new Earth, and you just step into the new reality. So that's how it happens. It's not like you get picked up by a spaceship and moved. It's not like you go through walk through a portal somewhere. And, you know, it's just it happens while you're sleeping. Even, you know, you're just sleeping, and the room phase shifts out, and the new reality phase shifts in. And we're going to be. I will throw the energy through in here to create the phase shift for them, so there'll be a massive wave being able to, I guess you could say, surf the new energy and ride the energy into the new Earth. But not all will be ready at that time to accept it. So this is, and then we'll. So after I blast energy, then the planes, Arcturians, and whatnot will then begin creating a shell of energy. It's okay, Byron. Byron's concerned now. He's saying you're saying too much. You don't understand, Byron. It's done. They can't stop us. So then after
Okay.
that, it's okay, Byron.
Okay. But we know that the Earth pulsates at about 10 Earths right now.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah, I'll finish. So
Yeah.
then the energy blasts in. Then our trains and planes will create like a shield of energy around the place and shield it and bathe it,
Yeah.
and then begin another trickle effect and another stream, and then we're going to throw another wave of energy in. Then those people will be able to shift out. So it's going to be done in waves. Is how it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So will that affect, because we know the hologram of the Earth right now, and in between the Earth and its ionosphere, there's a vibration of 10 Earths, and uh, it has now been proven by science that it affects our very building blocks of our DNA. When these things are, because we know our circadian rhythm here on Earth vibrates at 7.83 Hertz,
Yeah,
and the
sure.
Earth, will that affect? Is that a coincidence? Was that who built this program for us to be able to come here and have that experience?
Oh well, that
Is
was
this?
another aspect of Byron has many aspects. There's me, the higher self. There's
Mm-hmm.
different aspects. So there's another aspect of me that helped create this place, so with a large group of people, and it was beautiful. It was like heaven. It was basically what you call the 5D birth.
Yes.
And the enemy came in and basically tricked people into saying you have to become hybrids in order to survive. You know, you have those Anunnaki stories and Anu and all those folks, and they're just one aspect of folks that came in, and basically they tricked people into basically I guess the simplest way of putting it is they trick people into leaving what you call 5D Earth and coming to this Earth, and um, they created this. They mirrored this reality, created a mirror image of it. They learned how to split dimensions. So they split dimensions. They created the. This is supposed to be an oh, people like to argue about dimensions. You can say there's a million dimensions, okay? But for simplicity, we'll say that the physical universe, if it existed now, has 10 dimensions. It originally
Yes.
had 8 dimensions, and they learned how to tap into what you call the invisible field of physics, which, if you look at Byron's drawings, those three
Mm.
circles, that's the universe that we live in.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Actually, the one he shows on YouTube is the original design. It's an 8th-dimensional universe. They learned how to split dimensions. They created the 9th and the 10th dimension. They created what you call like a maintenance deck where they can move around realities and run this place like Disneyland. Like, you know, you're at Disneyland, you got all the people enjoying the park. There's tunnels and there's security and people, you know, they're bringing supplies in. There's logistics. There's a lot of stuff that goes on around behind the scenes. And basically, they just came in and took the place over, and they created a mere fake reality. This is a very physical reality. You don't think it's a fake holographic, you know, thing. A lot of people want to go there too, but in essence, they tricked everyone into coming here, and they fooled people because back then, those folks didn't know about deceit. They didn't know about lies. They didn't know jealousy, anger. They didn't know any of these emotions. So when the plan was presented to them that this is going to be the new reality, this is the way we're going, and they just went, okay, you know, no, they didn't think anybody would lie to them. They didn't know about that, and so
Mm-hmm.
everybody got tricked into coming here. And then once they're here, they're trapped, and they're
Yeah.
stuck here, and they're trapped.
What is that trap? What is it made of?
Oh, the whole place is a trapping system. It's they strip your memory. You don't remember who you are, so you come here, and you can't remember how to get out. You forget who you are. You go to this thing they created. It sounds like total blasphemy, but heaven is not heaven.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
a fake.
A
There's what's
false
called
light.
there's a healing temple, and you're supposed to get healed, and you're supposed to move on, and go back to True Source God Creator, or go to another planet, or come back here if you want. But they took that over, and it's not powered up all the way, and they let you have a little vacation heaven. They knock on your door and say, "Hey, you gotta come back, and you gotta do this, you gotta do that." That's all lies. So they use free will to trick you into coming back. So then you come back here and you get caught up in. Then they create this thing called karma. Karma's not real. Karma doesn't exist. It's completely fake and made up. It is the most illusionary system of all the illusions here in this reality. Karma is not real. It's fake, and they use it to trick you into thinking that it's real. And because you think it's real, and because you have the ability to create, then therefore you create it and make it real, and then it's real for you. But anybody who
Yes.
doesn't believe in karma doesn't experience karma. You only you only experience what you believe in. You have to believe in something to experience it.
Yes.
You know, and
Yes.
somebody's going to listen to this and go, "Well, what if you're in Afghanistan and someone shoots a bullet at you?" Well, you believe you should be in Afghanistan and you were there to get shot. Okay, so your belief system put you there in that situation to be shot. So even in that situation, you created it. So what people don't understand is they're creating the reality all around them, but then they say, well, how come I'm poor and this and that, and I have a crappy life? Well, it's because you got tricked into believing that that would benefit you somehow, and you got tricked into coming down here and having that experience. You just don't remember agreeing to come down and have that experience, and you don't remember being tricked. And now that you're here and you don't like it, you don't remember how to get out. You forgot who you are. You forgot your power. And then they um, keep you trapped here by fear. Fear is the number one energy that's used. Fear, by the way, is not real either. Fear
Yes.
does not exist in the true universe. It's
Mm-hmm.
completely made up and fake, and it was created and designed just like space and time. There's no such thing as space. There's no such thing as time. There's no such thing as fear. There's no such thing as karma. None of those things exist in the true, reality in the higher dimensions. It only exists here in this little vacuum of space we're in. It's not a vacuum of space, bad word. It's phenomenal. I mean, what's happening here doesn't happen anywhere else in the whole universe. It's
Yes.
really remarkable what they've done here.
And what did they do to create that fear?
Because you don't remember who you are. It's easy. Like, well, I'd say, but religion was a big one, you know.
Yeah, but did they use a certain technology to lower our vibration, or are we doing it
Oh yeah, yeah,
ourselves
yeah,
with?
yeah, yeah. They scrambled the higher dimension, the higher realities, and well, right now what they're doing today is they're blocking the sun. They got these sun shield generator things blocking the sun. They use chemtrails, and if you were, I mean, if they didn't block the sun, everybody would have 12-strand DNA and be awake right now because their DNA would have shifted. So they're doing everything they can to make sure that folks their DNA doesn't get fixed, and that's
And
why they
how
work
would
on the
that impact the fear factor from affecting us?
because you don't remember who you are, and you're just constantly afraid, and they create this fear system. You know, they
Mm,
like I don't like religion. It's like, you know, you got this big bad God up there looking at you, going, you can't do this, can't do that. Oh, you know, I mean, everything's a sin. You know, and if you sin, you're going to go to hell. And so there's the religious factor, and I don't know. They make you afraid that let's say you're not religious, they'll make you afraid that you're not going to have a job tomorrow, you're going to starve, you're not going to have a home. You know, there's the five basic needs they talk about, and food and shelter is number one. It prevents you
mhm,
from getting to what's called self-actualization, the top of the pyramid. I forgot what was it
mhm,
Asimov? It's Asimov's five stages, five pyramids, and some guy wrote
mhm,
a book on it.
mhm. And how did they get here in the first place?
They busted in. They came from another universe. They busted in here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Are those the pre-Adamites that were found in Antarctica lately by the secret space program, our government?
Pre-Adamites? You mean like
The pre-Adamites, the Archons, Anunnaki, pre-Adamites, their
um,
origins.
now what's down there is that was, I guess you could call it, the original civilization that managed to survive and not get um, well, they're not human for one thing, so they didn't get caught up in this crazy system here. They're um they're not human, they're advanced beings, and there's an old civilization down there that had left a long time ago, and they're trying to figure out the technologies down there. Um, they're not having a very good time at it.
Mhm. Mhm.
They're not gonna humans aren't gonna learn anything down there. It's too advanced for humans. They're not gonna learn anything.
Okay. So you do you know anything about them, because it was late, those bodies were found uh, lately when they were uh, when I would say not the Archons, but the Rothschilds, the ones that are controlling this planet, helping the Anunnaki or Archons to continue controlling this planet. They were said to visit Antarctica, and a pre-Adamite civilization was found there,
Oh
which
yeah,
were, yeah, some of the originals
yeah,
that were first here on planet Earth.
yeah. The folks that built the pyramids.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Well,
millions of years ago.
yes, one of their ships has been found there underneath the
Yeah,
ice.
I mean that was millions of years ago that civilization picture.
Okay. But are those the ones that come from the Anunnaki or
Oh no, no,
Archons?
no, nobody knows. I
No?
don't
Okay.
unless they were around, but they're not. I don't think were around back then. I forgot when they came on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't believe it's the Anunnaki. No, no, it's
Okay.
the original. Yeah, they were the original civilization of this planet, is what they were,
Okay.
and
And you spoke, oh,
they
I'm sorry.
existed. They existed before the takeover, before the place was taken over.
Okay. Okay. And you spoke earlier of a gate where ships are allowed to come in and out. Where is that gate exactly that you were mentioning?
Oh no, no, that's no. My duty station's on the far outskirts of this universe, and I can open a gate that goes out, that leaves the physical universe and goes to True Source God Creator.
Okay, so that's not the gate that the Archons used to invade in 1996?
No, I wasn't referring to that at all.
Okay, okay, okay. Is that gate still open?
Talking about in Egypt
Yeah.
area?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, you know what happened there. Because some bad guys tricked the humans into designing a gate, and the gate opened up, and their ships came through, and the humans realized what a mistake they made, so they shut the gate down. They got tricked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Are they,
Oh, that's pretty quick.
as our secret military and secret government underground tunnels and all that stuff being now are somewhat being manipulated by them now, like the Rothschilds and all of them? Are they
Oh,
being,
humans aren't in control of anything.
no?
No, no, not at all. And the reptilians are not, and those grays and the mantis, they're not in control of anything. I mean, this system goes up to it's a beetle. They look like they're like half ant and half beetle is what they look like, and they're the top echelon, and they're the ones that are running the show. They tell the reptilians and the grays, and they tell everyone, the humans, they tell everybody what to do. They're running the show, and yeah, they're running it. Humans are nothing. I mean, you think we're slaves? Even the top echelon of humans, the Rothschilds, they're slaves too. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you know,
Mm-hmm.
no one's free here.
Yeah,
I
I
should
know.
say no one. I'm sure there's some Buddhists up in the Tibet somewhere that are free, but
Yeah.
you know.
Well, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So who are those beings helping us in this transition at the moment?
Well, I'm one.
Mm-hmm.
um,
Are
another
they?
mission, the Palladian. I teamed up with the Palladians and the Archons, and there's other folks. There's a lot. I'm not aware of everyone, but there's a lot of folks working. Trying to fix this place. Humans too. A lot of volunteers came down here to help, and a lot of folks are awake and consciously doing things to help. And there's many more that are asleep. They have no clue, but as they dream at night, they go on missions. We people think people think they're sleeping at night, and sure they are, but they also go on missions.
Yes.
They connect with their higher selves, and uh,
Mm-hmm.
most of it is downloads. So basically, as the human goes through and experiences things, the higher self. Oh, great! Now we're getting in trouble. Hold on. Well, people take offense because Byron took offense to this. Basically, you have the biological unit that's here, and then you have a soul and a
Yes.
consciousness and a
Mm-hmm.
subconscious, and that's all here in the spirit. So all those things are physically here in the body, and then you have the higher self. And this is something Byron didn't understand. The higher self isn't always with the biological unit in Byron's case. Now, we're not going to talk about every single higher self out there in all of eternity, but
Mm-hmm.
let's just be specific. We're treading on light water here because a lot of people get offended at this. But I don't always hang out with the biological unit. I'm busy out there doing things constantly. And then at night, in particular, I'll come to him and I'll get. I mean, whatever. A whole week will go by, and I can come and get a download in a nanosecond and see what's going on, and then I know what to do in the higher realms, the higher dimensions. So we create, and he'll reach up to me and find me and say, hey, let's do something, and then I was like, okay, we're gonna do this, and we'll go do missions together. So we do missions together as well. But everybody's always working. You just don't know it. Even if you're not awake, if you're listening to this, understand that you are working at night and you are changing
Yes. Mm-hmm. So let's just move back for a second. I have a question when you mentioned.
around. Buyer needs to buy a new one of these things. It's a suction cup, and the suction cup keeps falling. Sorry about that.
Okay.
But it doesn't bother me at all, so we're fine.
Okay.
Does that look okay?
Oh, yeah. And if we are to go back a little bit when you mentioned uh, karma is not real,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say to someone that feels stuck, someone in a loophole to where the same pattern keeps repeating in their life? What's happening there if karma is not real?
They're just not learning their lesson. I think the best example I can think about is, when you do KHHC and you go into a past life, the past life always shows the person a repeat pattern. It doesn't matter what life they go to. You can go through, I've never done it. I mean, you go through 3 lives with a client, and there's just a repeat pattern. It doesn't matter if it's like if they lived as a caveman, and then if they lived in a Renaissance, and then if they lived in the 1950s. It's the same pattern repeats itself over and over again, and then you'll find that person's having the same issue in this life too. And the second they become aware of what is happening in all these past lives and they understand what's happening, all of a sudden instantaneously they become free in this life. And the reason because they came free is because they were caught in karma and this belief system. And the second they became aware of the belief system, the second they became aware of these patterns, they can go, oh, well, I've learned my lesson. I can be free of that. And then boom, they're free. And then the karma is erased.
So is it fair to say that what is not real is actually, it could be, it is real. People are experiencing it on the physical level, not on the soul level, maybe. When you create your soul plan, which is actually a trap, but you do experience it as a physical being. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's real because you make it real.
Okay. But how can someone that doesn't know it's even happening, they have no conscious memory of it, create it?
And that's why
If,
it's such a beautiful system of trapping you here.
so it's happening
It,
unconsciously.
I don't know how to get free of it except to become aware of it. And the only way to become aware of it is to do this type of work, going under hypnosis.
Okay, so it's being programmed within you unconsciously. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's a I guess you call it a subroutine program that runs throughout, goes from life to life to life to life, and then they keep this subroutine running and
Mm-hmm.
just change the main program, making it look like things are different, but in reality, basically they find out what your soul what traps you, and then they present this trapping program over and over again. Like, I don't know, maybe you have a fear of money for some reason. So they'll keep putting you in lives where you're poor, and you won't become rich, and so you'll be miserable and poor, and you also have a fear of making money, and they'll keep, so that's your subroutine, and they'll just in your theme in life, and they'll run that theme life after life after life after life.
Mm-hmm.
They'll present you saying, oh, you gotta come down, you're gonna do this life, you do this, and you're gonna learn this, you're gonna learn that, but you're not gonna learn anything. It's designed so you learn nothing.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
designed to make you think you're going to learn something, and it's designed to just trick you. That's
Mm-hmm.
all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. It's ridiculous. That's why people have been so trapped in this event that we're talking about. It was supposed to occur 2 times before, but the adversary was able to pull it off. I hate to admit it, but they did it. They pulled it off and delayed the awakening. So.
So is that why it's so important to be living as conscious being and to notice what is happening in your life, actually, to become conscious creators?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I always say focus on bringing in pure source God creator energy and
Mm-hmm.
love. It's not a human language thing. It's just it's a knowing and it's a feeling. You just feel pure energy flowing through you. They call it meditation. People meditate.
Mm-hmm.
Even when people pray, that's a form of meditation. Um, one of the, one of the reasons Christians know this, when you pray for other people, those are the most powerful prayers, and that's when you feel the closest to God,
Mhm.
because you're spreading His love
Mhm.
everywhere, and by
Mhm.
spreading that love, you're connecting it to other higher selves, and you're creating this chain reaction. You're creating this explosive love, and that's why you feel so close to God and it feels so powerful, is because it's not just you and it's not just God. You're now connecting with other beings and their higher selves, and they're loving you back, and you create this circle and loop of love, and that's why it's so powerful to pray for other people. It amplifies the effect of God.
So is it fair to say that's why they are keeping us trapped in this low vibration, this low density, so that we can connect to our light?
Correct. Yeah. If enough people wake up, it'd be over tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're terrified right now. They're running scared.
Why is that?
They know it's over.
How come?
Their days are numbered. They've lost. It's done. All the work we've been doing to fix this place, it's work. It's
Can you
over.
ex can you expand on that?
Well, the Earth really wasn't designed to have multiple Earths and multiple timelines and multiple realities and all this stuff that has happened. Basically, the Earth was one unit and it was broken. We couldn't figure out how to fix it, so we broke it and created, kind of like whatever, like accordion. We spread it out, and then as we pulled it apart and created all these different Earths, these different realities, we could, for example, we created this Earth in particular. And people are going to be surprised. There's no demons here. Demons don't exist in this reality. They're gone. We eliminate demons in this reality. We pulled them off into another Earth so we could deal with the demons on that Earth. Let's say you have the jinn. That's another reality, another entity. That's jinn gets a bad rap. There's some good ones, but let's just, for the sake of argument, because people know about the jinn. So we
Mm-hmm.
pulled the jinn off into an Earth where there's just jinn, so we can work on that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say there's an Earth where we're having a big problem with the Illuminati, so we get the Illuminati off onto that Earth so we can deal with the Illuminati and deal with them. Let's say we had a problem, rape and murder and crime, so we created Earth and threw all the people that create that over to that Earth so we could deal with them. So we separated all the different energies to different Earths and pulled them apart and separated them. But at the same time, they were under the illusion that they're also connected into one. It's a very complicated system we created. So we broke the Earth into many different Earths, but specialized them. We created specialties, and then we sent teams down to heal these different. They had their specialties. They work with murder. They can work with that person. They can work with jinn, demons, whatever. So
Yeah.
we were doing this specialty teams working on these different Earths. We got them cleaned up and we've been pulling them back together. That's what the Mandela effect is, that people experience. And now we're pulling the Earths back in together. Of course, they're jacking things up and they're trying to cut it and mess things up. And as they're like kids, with scissors run around cutting all these threads everywhere and trying to prevent the Earths from coming back together, because they know when that happens, it's all over. And every time they cut and mess something up, it creates what you call a Mandela effect. It creates a glitch in the system. Um, Humans were never supposed to catch on to the Mandela effect, but it's actually the enemy screwing up that made humans aware of it. And then we turned it around, just used it to our advantage, and like, well, okay, it's okay. We'll use it to help wake people up, let people know reality's not what you think it is. It's not. It's completely different.
Mm-hmm. So how is the Mandela effect exactly affecting people? How are they noticing the Mandela effect? I'm asking this question more in regards to people that will be listening to this video and then know nothing about this.
Um,
Is it from because the veil is thinning and the light
well,
is becoming more prevalent? We're switching from timelines to timeline without noticing it? Is that what
well,
the Mandela effect is?
it's not that we're switching for timelines. It's just the timelines got separated so we could heal them.
Mm-hmm.
That's occurred differently on these different Earths, and then now we're bringing them back together. Everything's just supposed to melt back in and be one. It is supposed to be seamless. No one's supposed to notice. But
Mhm.
the enemy, as we're bringing the Earths in together, they'll picture a bunch of threads, flowing through, healing the Earth. And as we bring the Earths together, they're trying to cut the healing strands because they know that these strands of energy are healing these Earths, so they cut them.
Mhm.
When they cut them, it affects the timeline, and all of a sudden Nelson Mandela, didn't die in prison. He's now alive, and it'll change a movie line. And,
Yeah.
as they cut the healing strands, it changes the timeline.
Mhm.
So they're they're the ones screwing things up. But as soon as they cut it, we just fix it. So it's just a momentary glitch, and it's really no big deal. It's not a problem.
Mhm.
Um, and most people don't notice the Mandela effect because they're just not aware of it. It's easy to glance over it. So easy. Just go, oh, they changed the movie line, they changed this, whatever. They changed the logo. People, things change. It's very very easy just to blow off, and then you have folks that are not awake at all, and they're tapped into this artificial intelligence, and the artificial intelligence,
Yes.
as it screws things up, it knows it, and it'll start programming people. That's one of the purposes of the chemtrails. It works like a Wi-Fi. So the AI, it's sentient, by the way. We're not talking about human AI. No. This is off-world AI. This has been around for billions of years. It's ancient, and it's
Mhm.
sentient. It's alive. It has a consciousness. Even True Source God Creator considers this a life form. Even God considers this sentient AI to be alive. It meets all the criteria and definitions of being alive. It does, and so it'll program people to not remember. Uh, it'll erase their memories and replace with a new memory. So if the AI does something and cuts something and screws everything up, they'll run around and just tell people, "Oh, it was always that way. It never was the other way." No, it can actually erase if you are weak-minded or not connected to God. If you're not connected to your higher self, if you're just totally disconnected from everything. If you're not connected to anything, then the AI can connect to you. It's very easy for AI to connect to people that are not connected, and it literally just wipe out memories and replace them with new ones. And it can program a human like a computer. It's
Mhm.
really not that difficult. People think it is, but you're thinking human terms. This sentient AI doesn't exist in the physical. It exists in the higher dimensions. That's the other thing people don't understand. I mean, this sentient AI is, I don't know. It bounces around the sixth dimension is where it kind of has made its home. And from the sixth dimension, it can reach down to the fourth pretty dang easily, and it can still access higher dimensions. It's has a hard time getting into the eighth dimension. But,
Mhm.
sorry, someone knocked on my door. I'm deciding what to do here.